Okay, so this is PE router 6 and we're going out to C21 and C11. We'll start with C21 first. We've got two interfaces heading towards C21, and what we're going to do, we're going to turn RIP on the interfaces. We're going to export our loop back into the RIP, and C21 has been pre-configured with RIP. It's actually advertising the loop back. Once we find the loop back in the routing table, we can then provision the BGP neighbor. So here we go. Set interface GE005 VLAN tagging. We've got three interfaces here. Unit 305, 306, 307. The first two with .17 and .21 are going down to C2, and then the 025 is going down to C1. So set protocol RIP group peer, and then we've got the neighbor. Now, it's interesting, RIP doesn't have sort of formal neighbor relationships. Remember that RIP won't send anything without an export policy on the group. And also, the Juniper will receive RIP but not send. So, set policy options, policy statement, loop back to RIP, term 1, from protocol direct, from route filter, 172.35.6, which is our loop back, then accept. And we put that as an export on the peer. Set protocol RIP group peer export loop back to RIP, and then our loop back's going to be sent out. Take a look in the routing table. We can see the loop back of C21. Now we can configure the BGP. Set protocol BGP group C21. We've got a local address which is our loop back, peer address or peer AS. My apologies. Got the neighbor, which we found for the table. Multi-hop, because of course we are multi-hop. Log up down. Okay, so that gets C21 established, and now we have C11. We've got a neighbor, we've got a peer AS, and here we've got a limit on the number of prefixes that we're going to allow in. So family INET unicast, prefix limit maximum 20, and prefix limit teardown idle timeout 3. So it's worth noting that that teardown idle timeout 3 is 3 minutes for the BGP session to be torn down if it hits that prefix limit. Okay, so we've got the log up down, and we also have a more aggressive damping policy. So there's a lot of the word damping and a lot of the word aggressive. It can be a bit confusing, but basically we have this keyword directly in policy options. So set policy options, and instead of going policy statement, we can use the keyword damping immediately. And the next thing that we write there is basically our set, our damping set, which is what I'm calling them. So we've got a damping set here. We called it aggressive. There's a half-life set to 20, the reuse is 500, and the suppression is 2500. So that's changed that relatively significantly. And then what we do here is set policy options, policy statement. The name of the statement is damp aggressive. This is what we're going to be putting inbound on the customer here. So that's the name of the statement. And inside the statement, we're doing then damping, and we're using this damping set here. And we've seen these a few times.